Thursday Night Football. Jaguars at the Saints. Saints favored by 3. The total just 39. The big news here, obviously. Trevor Lawrence questionable for this one with a knee injury. The spread in total indicates to me that the market is pessimistic on him suiting up. So take that for what you will. But Sean, who are you going with in the captain spot?
Yeah, so I'm going with Travis Etienne here. He's really operating as one of the few true workhorse backs in the league right now. He scored 2 touchdowns in back-to-back games. And the only goal line carry they've had in the last 2 games went to Etienne. So some of that concern I had about Bigsby, handling the goal line work, it seems like Etienne might be the goal line back now too. So could be set for a big game here. Like you mentioned, Trevor Lawrence might not play. If he does, he could be less than 100%. So it's more likely they lean on Etienne even more in either situation. So I think he's the optimal play in the captain slot here.
Yeah, it's tough because, you don't really know Jags pass catchers. Don't know how much they're going to do if you have Beathard. And then, the Saints are home favorites. And, despite their struggles, I think it's still tough to envision them having to throw it around a ton if Lawrence doesn't suit up. So the only other guy I really think that I want a lot of shares of besides Etienne in the captain spot is Alvin Kamara. It's not the easiest matchup. Jaguars are one of the better teams against the run, but they are allowing the 3rd most schedule adjusted targets per game to running backs at 8.0. And that's been Kamara's specialty. Derek Carr has been dumping it off to him a ton. Kamara, no fewer than 24 touches in each of his first 3 games back, averaging 25. So talk about true workhorses. Here's another one in Kamara. The matchup's not there, but he has everything else we're looking for. Home favorite back, gets a ton of dump off passes. So it's between Etienne and Kamara for me in that captain spot.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you saw the line I did say in the past hour or two since we've been recording is down to -1. And I thought -3. That was like just assuming Lawrence is out.
-1 is more like it.
Right.
That means he could play.
Yeah, it's more of a 50-50 chance at this point. But yeah, should have grabbed the +3 while I was up there. Because again, that's assuming Lawrence is out. It'd be -3, -3.5. But it looks like the market is back to it being a coin flip that he suits up here.
Yep, nothing like betting against Dennis Allen. Great week for the NFC. Great week for the NFC South. Bucks get blown out. Falcons can't get it with 3 chances. The
Panthers
Saints
just suck.
Get upset, and the Panthers get get blown the doors off again. So bad that their coach is already seated play card. It was great week for the.
I'm surprised the
South.
Panthers didn't get. I'm surprised the Panthers didn't pick up Julio Jones. They're looking for number 1 receiver. They said so.
Nah, let's not. We can't throw shade at Adam Thielen like this. I keep
I
say that. They don't have a true number 1 wide receiver. What else do you want Adam Thielen to do? I admit I was down on him coming into the year.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of other people were, but the guy's the number 1 receiver right now. He's good enough he's playing well enough to be the number 1 receiver on almost any team that doesn't have a.
I had a mix. I said if you remember, I said he wasn't washed. But I also thought Mingo was a good fit for Bryce Young, so I was, split on those 2. But yeah, no, Thielen has looked amazing. I was just joking that they're looking for number 1 receiver after.
Could see it. I could see it. I don't know who they're gonna. I guess T. Higgins is the ideal, and maybe some other guys like Devontae Adams. Maybe he's on the block. Who knows? He's mad, but the Raiders are winning, so who knows? But value, who do you like?
Got to go with Rashid Shaheed here. He's a big play threat who's always a great option on these showdown slates. His rostership will probably be pretty high here, just considering he came off a 2-catch, 85-yard game with a touchdown. Also saw 2 rush attempts for 18 yards. Again, he has multiple paths, for putting up production. He's also their punt and kick returner. Chris Olave looks like he's banged up with a toe injury. He should be fine, but on a short week, might not be 100%. So that'd be another area where Shaheed could pick up some more work if Olave is limited. But always like taking Shaheed on these showdown sites in any main slate with in GPPs where you need a big score, but like Shaheed here.
I think Derek Carr likes Shaheed too. Like I saw
As he
Derek
should.
Carr, after that deep ball. I don't think I mean, it was good work by the camera crew, but I don't think I've ever seen Derek Carr so excited to celebrate a touchdown. It was like Derek Carr like
True.
ran down the field, and then like Shaheed is doing his little dances with all the receivers, and like Derek Carr is like patiently waiting his turn to get in and like do some like handshake or dance with Shaheed as well. So
Nice.
I don't know. He never seemed that excited when Olave caught a touchdown. So I don't know. Read into that what you will, but Shaheed has been good. Values for me, a couple. First, I think the Saints defense is, they've been playing really well. So even if it is a banged up Trevor Lawrence, I think I would look at the Saints defense. Trevor Lawrence with, some mobility issues perhaps from the, wearing a knee brace that could play into some turnovers. And Lawrence has been making he's been making a lot of good plays, especially throwing wise, but he's also been making some bad plays where he just, sometimes he's just trying to do too much. He's coming off reads too soon, or he's holding the ball in the pocket too. He's either coming off reads too soon and scrambling, which opens him up to big hits and fumbles, or he's holding the ball too long and fumbling. So I do think you could get some sacks and fumbles on him in this game, maybe even some picks. But this Saints defense really hasn't been allowing many points to anyone. I think the Bucs got above 20 and Saints got to 20, but it's been usually 20 or under for everybody week in, week out with the Saints D. So like them. And then on the Jaguar side, regardless of who the quarterback is, somebody has to catch passes for them. Christian Kirk is going to be my choice again. I think this is a good matchup for him. New Orleans plays the third most man coverage in the league. Kirk leads the Jags in targets against man coverage with 10. So, Kirk continuing to play well. We'll see if Zay Jones can suit up. Probably not on a short week. We'll see. Mm-hmm. But either way, I think Kirk would be the guy you mentioned, in the other pod. You're a little low on Ridley. I totally get that. He's been inconsistent. Kirk has been a lot more consistent. So going with Kirk as well. Who you like for dart throws?
Yeah, so Jamal Agnew at $400, assuming Zay Jones is out again. I think Agnew will be worth a flyer. He's somebody that could benefit if CJ Beathard, has to start and the Jags have a more conservative game plan. He's typically, a low ADOT player. Also handles, a couple design runs a game. So worth the flyer on the one game slate. He hasn't really seen that many targets this year, but he is running the routes at least. So definitely an under the radar play. On the Saints side, Kendre Miller at 1,800. He's a bit steep for a dart throw, but if Trevor Lawrence is out, it's still likely to be a close game. But there's certainly a path for the Saints, to win by 2+ scores, and in that kind of game script, we could see Kendre Miller get 5 to 10 touches. We saw that when they blew out the Patriots a couple weeks ago, and he's talented enough to really do some damage on 5 to 10 touches. Like you said, Kamara is a true workhorse back, but there is the potential game script where Miller could sneak into, the winning GPP lineups at this price. So I like Miller as a dart throw on the Saints side.
Yeah, Miller, if Kamara's been getting so much work. If he ever goes down or like gets hurt or gets banged up, Miller's going to see a ton of work in game. For me, I was going to go with Keith Kirkwood, but I'm looking at it. I actually think Lynn Bowden is Olave's direct backup. At least that's what it's been looking like. So I'll go Lynn Bowden just because Olave's a little banged up. Kirkwood has been running as the wide receiver 4 over Bowden, who's been the 5. But I think if Olave is a little bit banged up, I think you might see more Bowden in this role. So, and Bowden can also play some running back. So kind of an interesting dart throw here. And on the Jag side, I go with tight end Brenton Strange. He's a rookie. Cost $1K, but did get a touchdown catch last week, so he could be getting a little bit more involved. And we'll see if it's Beathard. I think I like it even more because then you probably worked with him more on the second team. But either way, his usage has been increasing. 29% route participation rate last week was a season high. And as I mentioned, got that touchdown catch. So not a bad bet this time of year. You start to see some of these rookies get a little more involved.
Yeah. So I was curious, what are your thoughts on Taysom Hill on this slate? He's a bit pricey. He's priced like, quarterback at 6,200, but he's coming off a 7-catch 49-yard game. So if Juwan Johnson is out again, like he was operating as more of a pass catching tight end. Obviously, he's a threat for like a rushing score. Like thoughts on him at 6,200? Like what's his rostership going to be? Is he a contrarian play? Like what's up with that?
Nah, he's gonna probably be very popular. I like him.
Okay.
I've kind of learned the hard way. Taysom Hill usually doesn't have 2 big games in a row. Like it's just
true.
That's just kind of how it goes. So I'm not as excited as I would be if he was coming off like a complete dud. I think that it would be a lot more interesting. But yeah, I think he's definitely going to be in some of my lineups. But I'm not expecting a ton from him just because that's how it's usually like good game, bad game, good game, bad game with him. So. We'll also have to see about Johnson, but yeah, Johnson would be a great play if he came back. He's only like I think min price as well. So
yeah, he's like $200 or something like that. Yeah, what the hell? He didn't practice yet, so not looking good. But yeah, if he suits up, can't pass him up at like $200. It's ridiculous.